Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Radio Show on We Are Hotline, and we're back again with another transformational story. We have a woman on the line who has taken her journey and has put it to pen and paper, and now has birthed an incredible novel. It's going to be an international bestseller. Please welcome the author of The Battle Was Not Mine and motivational speaker. Please welcome Janice Codling to the show. How are you doing today, Janice?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us today. And I know that thank you. We've been orbiting each other for some time now, and I'm glad that we finally made the connection to share your wonderful story. So thank you for that. So let's get to it. Tell us a little bit about your background leading up to the birthing of this book.
Well, my background, I would say, growing up, I always knew that I wanted to write a book. I just didn't know how and when and how that would look like, when that would happen. My background, essentially, I'm coming from a background where obviously the whole book smart and all that stuff, but initially I come from a background where I initially wanted to go to school for correction, so to become a correctional officer, which is probably far-fetched than anyone else would probably think by looking at me. But eventually that took a detour when I realized quickly that that's not what I wanted to do. So I branched off and I started to, look inner in terms of what I love to do. And motivational speaking sparked when I realized that I knew that I had a story to tell. So for me to get on that journey, I had to try and figure out, how would I be able to go about doing this whole motivational speaking thing. So obviously over time and over years, a book came to mind. And the book was always ringing inside of me, but I don't know, it took a lot for me to actually say, yes, I'm going to write the book. And through saying yes in writing the book, that was when I realized, okay, yeah, this is something that I would love to do as opposed to something that I would like to do.
Right. Fantastic. And so the book now was published when exactly? It wasn't too long ago.
No, it was January of this year, January 28th to be exact.
Okay. January 28th. Okay, so just a recent publishing. And tell me, what was the inspiration for the title, The Battle Was Not Mine?
The inspirational, push for the title of the book, I would say I do take my spirituality very seriously. So I really was, praying to God and asking God, what would you want me to do in terms of, a title for the book? What would you want it to, how would you want it to represent me? And eventually the title just came to me. One day, The Battle Was Not Mine. I said it out loud, and I was like, oh, my God, that's the name that I need to call this book. So that's essentially how that came about.
Okay, excellent. And tell me a little bit about the premise of the show. Of the book, rather.
So pretty much the book is talking about, it's more so on the testimonial side. It's talking about certain things that I've gone through, like bullying, brokenness, pain, especially as a young woman. I experienced a lot of things that growing up, because the book is detailed. It starts from growing up all the way up to, the woman that I am now. It just pretty much talks about times where I would be bullied at school, whether it be out in the public, pain that I experienced through relationships, even the pain that I've experienced internally but wouldn't really, say anything to anyone. And I felt that I needed to share my story because a lot of people in society today, or I could say as speaking for a woman, or as a woman, a lot of women today experience so many hurtful things, but they don't really talk about it because they fear, what is someone going to say about this, or how are people going to look at me because I went through this. So I decided to share all of that and turned around and called it The Battle Was Not Mine.
Wow, amazing. And it takes a lot of courage to get to that place,
yes,
and to be able to visit those periods of darkness and be able to shed light, on it.
Exactly.
It takes a very courageous soul. So I appreciate, what you've been able to do in that respect. So,
yes.
What are 2 lessons that you expect readers to learn from this book?
2 lessons, I would say. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't, would be the first one, because when I was preparing to write the book, I didn't really talk about it. I didn't tell anyone that I was getting ready to publish a book. I kind of just dropped a bomb, and everybody was like, whoa, you're actually writing, you actually did a book. And I was like, yeah. But the reason why I didn't tell much people is because I found that anytime you open up your mouth about certain things, you might have people who are rooting for you, and then you have those people who will probably say, oh, no, you can't that, or you can't do that, or you can't achieve that. So I would say, don't let anyone tell you that you can't, you can't accomplish or do anything that, you're passionate about or you have a spark or desire inside of you to do. The second lesson I would say is you can always approach life again. Despite all the issues and the struggles that you might have, there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
That's very true. Very true. So when are we to expect a book launch? Is that something in the making?
I actually did have a book launch on the 28th. That was when I actually launched the book in terms of all of that. So I don't know if I'm going to do another one or I guess on a more smaller spectrum. I'm not 100% sure as of yet. But I did have a book launch, and it was amazing.
Amazing. Well, that's great. And when you do this great undertaking, it's amazing the people who gravitate to you, and you never expect, when you release a vulnerable side of you through this book, that you're going to be received with so much love, right? You're not really sure in the beginning, and now I'm really sure that you have this surrounding of support around you. Would you describe, the people who are there and support you, like, ride or die people? You want to give an acknowledgement to them who've supported you and had your back from the beginning?
Definitely. Of course, I would always lift up God, because God has been with me throughout.
Amen.
Throughout everything. He just knows exactly who and what to put in the way to help me finish the book. In terms of all of that, my mom, my sister, my church family, El Shaddai Worship Center, just so many different people, and I don't want to call names specifically because I know I'm probably going to forget a few, but everyone that's just been in my corner, everyone who helped with the launch, and most importantly, the souls that have been touched by, the book and whatever I've written in the book. I'm just so thankful, both those that I know and both obviously perfect strangers, because that has happened as well. So I'm truly, truly thankful for all of that.
Wonderful. Now, how has your life been transformed by publishing this book?
It's been transformed because now it's before it used to be, I'm just writing a book, so I'll just be nestled and shy and quiet. Now it's given me a bit more confidence in terms of talking about, what I've experienced in terms of the book. It caused me to start just empowering people around me, whether it be someone sitting right next to me or if I'm, called upon to do something. I feel more empowered to just give back, and I feel more confident, most importantly. But it's caused me to just look at life differently and know that it's through your testimonies that we overcome.
Absolutely. And tell us, how can people connect with you?
People can connect with me, of course, the wonderful social media, Facebook. On Facebook, my name is Janice Codling. Instagram, I'm elect_LadyJ, and I do have a website. It's www.jniceministries.com.
Beautiful. And tell us, where can we purchase the book?
The book can be purchased on Amazon and or Barnes & Noble. It's online right now. And, of course, those who are, in the Toronto area can connect with me, and I can reach out and they can purchase the book from me as well.
Okay. All right, so you've heard it. You've got to run out and get your copy of The Battle Was Not Mine, written by the amazing Janice Codling. So go out, get your copy, and have your life be transformed through this wonderful emotional and spiritual connection that was put together by Janice. So if you just tuned in to the interview and you missed the earlier part, you don't have to worry. We're going to be playing the interview again. The show is on Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to noon, so you'll always have an opportunity to hear the transformational stories from beginning to end. Janice, thank you very much for taking the time out to share with us. We really appreciate you, and I congratulate you again on the publication of the book, and I wish you the very best. And I'm also excited to have you on our show live in front of an audience, and I'm really grateful for what people like you are doing to just uplift people in the community. So thank you again.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for having me.
You're welcome.
Seeing you.
Yay! It'll happen soon. Thanks very much, and have a good night.
All right, you as well.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.